everybody. Welcome to another edition of Elevating with Marcia and Mike. I'm your host, Marcia Hawkins, along with Mike Athas. And today we were discussing what we were going to talk about today. And I told you, Mike, we're just going to wing it because I do my best work when I wing it, believe it or not. Welcome.
I think winging it is a good plan right now. So
Well, there's so much to talk about. Once somebody once told me I got most talkative in high school that I could go on and on about fog. And I
yeah,
probably could, I probably could. But
yeah.
anyways, I thought to myself, well, should we jump on the bandwagon and talk about the Coldplay concert like everybody else, or should
Well, we
we,
could do that. Yeah.
should we
Well,
just
that's been an interesting one.
just avoid it all? Well, not that I really want to delve into it, but it does beg the question that people in high positions with an assumed level of intelligence, how could they have been so dumb, right?
Yeah. I've seen that stuff happen more than people think, and you see people in these positions where they think they're invincible, and that guy just he was not sorry for doing it. He was sorry for being caught. I think
Oh, absolutely.
when it
Well,
really boils
and
down.
I guess it kind of segues into what, we like to talk about, which is talking about the workplace environment. And it was amazing that after the story broke, how many people came out of the woodwork and said they didn't like working for the guy. I don't know. I'm just repeating what I've heard. They
Yeah.
didn't like working for him, that he wasn't really a great guy. And then I saw yesterday that she ended up resigning from her position there, which was probably a good idea. But I bet, we talked
Probably.
yeah. I mean, but with we've talked about this once if we've talked about it 100 times, how as employers, you really are the captain of the ship and creating a warm and friendly work environment is almost as crucial to your success as cash flow.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why that is so overlooked sometimes and why, when I meet with people, that are going to either running a business, small to mid-sized company, or even some of the larger companies of people that I've done consulting work for, the theme is always the same. They're always looking to improve their bottom line. There's a couple of de facto complaints they have: cash flow, employee morale, trying to find good employees. And I think sometimes, while attracting the right talent is super important, I do think as business owners, it's really up to us to create the culture. Agreed?
Oh, I agree 100%. And I think that that's where a lot of people fall short. And one of the themes that I think that my generation has really, I want to say embraced, but they you see everyone on LinkedIn or whatever saying, I'm the CEO of this company, I'm the president of this company. And like, what is that company? Is it something that's a real company or is it not? But I think that it's often overlooked that you need to be, if you are the CEO, if you are the president, and you are that business owner, the whole culture starts with you. The core values need to start with you, and that needs to be not just a tagline, but it needs to be, this is what the company's values are. This is what we provide as the business, and fall in line with that. Where I look at this astronomer CEO, and I mean, just thought he was above the law with it, above what should be okay in the workplace environment, but also just from a family perspective. I almost think the family perspective side of it is 1,000 times worse than the workplace, because workplaces can come and go. Family, that when you make vows, and that means something. And to me, I think that he just missed the mark. She missed the mark completely. So being a CEO, there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, but it all starts with you. The buck stops with you is my thought process with it. So
Well, it's a tech company, and while I don't know specifically what they do because I haven't had the time to research it, I do find it funny. Let's call it what it is. Cameras are everywhere.
100%, yeah.
So I don't know why anybody would not have recognized that, but yeah, and one thing, and I kind of want to veer off from that a little bit, but the one thing that I really started to think about in the last month or two is how I think people sometimes are willing to invest money into their business, but I wonder sometimes if people are really willing to invest their time. And do you know what I mean by that?
A little. Tell me more, because I can see. Yeah, people struggle with investing in their business as well. But I think that more people are willing to invest money into that. But tell me what you're thinking there with the.
I'm just starting to see a trend with businesses where they're willing to, when I say put invest more of their time, I don't mean working longer hours. I mean really refining, the hour to hour time that you actually implement into your business, because I don't see a lot of, I feel like the internet has made us a little lazy. I think that while I'm all for delegating stuff that you're not good at, but the stuff that you're really good at, I feel that if people could invest just a little bit more of quality time into what they do best. I know my lanes that I travel well in, and I know the lanes that I don't. And I'm very happy to delegate that up. But I do find that people, they own a business and they complain a lot, but like, just for example, like we have that, that benefits package, if you will, that we can offer
Yeah.
to businesses that in the long run is going to save them we're not talking a little bit of money, we're talking in some cases tens of thousands, if not $100,000
Yep.
in tax incentives. And it's amazing to me how a CEO or someone in HR is kind of like rolling their eyes that it's just, if it's going to be work, we don't want to do it. And this is what is specifically what I mean. Why are people not willing to? I'm a long term strategy planner. So
Sure.
for me, I never want to go for that quick fix of a problem. I would rather solve it long term than short term. But what I'm finding with the internet is if we can solve it quickly, run it through GPT and just take it and do it, which is great. I not that I'm not,
There's a place for that. Yeah, there's absolutely a place, but it's not everything. Yeah.
but it's not everything. And sometimes you really do need to be very strategic with the time that you're putting into your business on a daily basis and looking for those cost saving measures that are not only going to save you money, but are also going to put more money into your employees' pockets and possibly provide them with better benefits, which then attracts better talent. So to me, I think that my advice moving forward that I'm going to start incorporating into my consulting work is going to be for people to really start investing quality time into their businesses, because I don't see that. I see everything just kind of, you know, sloughing it off to all these apps and automations and chat GTP and GPT. I always pronounce that wrong. So I
Yeah.
hope I get it right. I should just stick to something else. AI. I should just stick to AI. But they're not. I don't think that people are. I think that it's actually getting worse, not better. And I
Yeah.
think until CEOs or just generalized business owners um, don't start, if they don't start incorporating really that quality time into their business. And I don't mean it's got to be uh, you know labor that they have to put in, but just the thinking, the business practices, what you do. Delegate out what you're not good at, but really what you're good at, that's what you should really be honing in on.
I think what you're saying, this is how I kind of live my schedule, I guess. So I work off of lists. I always have worked off of lists, and I have a
Thank
clipboard.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so one of the things that I do every single morning, in fact, I do this at the beginning of the day and end of the day, is I write down all the tasks that I need to do, but
Mhm.
then I'm going to go through and really hone in on what is going to have the biggest impact, and how do I spend my time doing the biggest impact. It's like eat that frog first, I guess. I don't know, but like I'm going after the high um the tasks that are going to have a high result for my business, and I think a lot of people won't do that, or they don't look at things from a on a day-to-day basis. Where do I need to spend my time? um I
They
made
don't.
that.
They don't. They're procrastinators too.
Yeah, well, and it's so easy to procrastinate out, and I think that it's very easy to get stuck scrolling through your phone and looking at Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and then you look up and there's your day. But what I would say is having a task list, it helps keep me on target and on task. So if I know that I need to do if I have 5 things that I need to knock out, and it gets to be towards the end of the time that I have allotted to knock out work that day, I need to pick it up and start knocking through those tasks faster and increase my productivity with it. So having those lists and working on those things really keeps me focused. But that's how I can invest the appropriate time into what I'm trying to accomplish on a day-to-day basis, compared to uh, do just the easy things and push everything back. I think procrastination is killing a lot of businesses. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, I love AI. There's a time and a place for everything. I think it's fantastic. But I do believe that people can start really, leaning in. I always tell people, lean into your business, don't lean out. Lean into your problems, don't
yeah,
lean out. Lean into what you need to do, not out of what you need to do. And if you can start incorporating that, I'm really like in my own private podcast. I'm really going to start doing some classes on that and how to overcome that. Because I just look around like with like everything that I do, whether it's someone calling me, about a problem with their insurance, and the other thing, and I am kind of again going off into a different topic, but they all kind of come back to the same thing, which is accountability, and taking responsibility. And it's funny, what I'm noticing, like anytime something comes up, the first words out of people's mouths are, "Whose fault is it?" And
yeah,
100% of
absolutely.
the time, it's never their fault. And
Yeah,
I truly believe, as a business owner, if you can start adapting that when there is a problem, a challenge, whatever you want to call it, there's a problem, challenge, an issue, something comes up, again, lean into it and take responsibility for it. Because if, even if somebody else caused the problem, if it's affecting your business or if it's affecting your life, take responsibility for it. And I have, a,
1000%.
I
Yeah,
have, I probably have more examples of that where I didn't, and I didn't recognize it, that something happened, and it was caused by somebody else, but it was the way I handled it. I did not take responsibility for it. So I'll give you a quick example. So I had this attorney that really made a huge mistake, and I kept questioning him on the mistake, kept questioning, and it ended up costing me a sizable amount of money. Where my responsibility came in for that was that I kept saying something's not right, something's not right. But I kept saying to myself, he's an attorney, he's a friend, he would never do anything. But that's where I dropped the ball,
right.
because didn't matter he was a friend, didn't matter that he was an attorney, he did it. He made a huge, huge, huge mistake. And what do they say? It's never the crime, it's a cover up. And had he come clean with me and told me what had happened, it would have been easy to fix it when it was this big versus a mile big.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I mean by that. I kept saying something's not right, something's not right. But every time I called him or emailed him, he said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't." Well, you know what? I should have worried about it, and I didn't. I trusted him. So that's what I mean by taking responsibility.
Well, and the buck stops with you too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your like, yes, there could be other parties involved, but it's your
Doesn't
issue.
matter.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
doesn't
So
matter.
that's what I'm trying to really
Yeah,
impress upon CEOs or owners of small business. Like, if you're not willing to take responsibility, if you can claim all the good that goes on in your life, or all the good that goes on in your business, and all the good that happens, you got to be able to accept the bad as well. And I
yeah,
think that's where businesses start to succeed, when they recognize what the problem is, they take responsibility for it, and they fix it.
yeah. What a great spin on the Coldplay CEO.
Yeah. Now, didn't I'm telling you, I'm the master of winging it.
We're winging it. I
We
love
were
it.
trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about, and I needed you to trust me on this, Mike, because I knew I could parlay it into something for us.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Elevating with Marcia and Mike. I'm your host, Marcia Hawkins. Mike, tell people how they can get a hold of you.
Marcia, the best way to reach me, either my website, which is bluewavefinancial.com, or you can call me directly, 941-254-1935.
Perfect. And I can be reached at 413-374-2100. And in the coming months, we'll have opportunity if you would like to advertise on our website, our podcast. Again, you can reach out to either one of us at those numbers, and we'd be happy to walk you through that process as well. Until then, make it a great week.